Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Salil. Sheer brilliance from the Indian lower order, Salil. I mean, brilliant partnership by the two batsmen out there. What do you have to say about this session, and what's your take on 105 runs being scored in a mere 26 over session, Salil?
I think it's got a lot to do with all our predictions. I think that what everybody would have least thought of has come true after, especially after losing Rishabh Pant's wicket, who started off with a couple of great boundaries. But quite honestly, I think extremely brave effort by Shami and Bumrah. Shami definitely for making that 50 his highest score, and Bumrah also on 30, which happens to be his highest score. So I think
Yeah,
from a batting perspective, and something that you said in the previous session has come true, where these two guys have who've done their job with the ball are doing it with the bat when the team really needs them. So I mean, if you look at the current Indian innings, all the guys who were supposed to score have not scored, and the guys that maybe England or the guys that are rooting for England would have banked on like a Rahane or a Pujara, and the tail have actually fired. So interesting. It happens to be a game which unravels a lot of mysteries, brings out the best in you, and absolutely brilliant cricket. I think the kind of spirit that was showed by Bumrah and Shami out there was quite great.
Salil, listening to the commentators as well, there was a time where I could hear even on the stump mic that there was some banter going on between the players, between Bumrah and the team and the bowling department when it comes to Mark Wood or a James Anderson. But I don't know what happened, but it definitely fired Jasprit Bumrah up and fired in the all right sense. I'm trying to say that he ensured that he's not going to throw his wicket away. He hit a
Yeah.
crisp boundary of Mark Wood to just show that yes, I'm going to be here, and you could see the face of Joe Root and the disappointment that he is feeling right now. That so many runs, a lead of 250 odd runs. What's your take on the whole innings that Jasprit Bumrah played? Firstly, Salil.
I think when he got out, I think he would be quite sure that the new ball would be bounced at him because last evening he really got to Jamie Anderson, and I think that's what England did. They got all their bowlers and they started bowling body line. He took a few blows. He took a blow on the head, but he hit a couple of boundaries. So I think from that perspective, they're even Stevens. But in the heat of the moment, I think what England lost was I think they're pretty confident with the fact when Rishabh Pant got out, and you could see from their body language that they've got halfway into the match, it's halfway into their pockets, but
Correct.
that really didn't happen, where they thought that they might just want to hit a few balls to the Indians for 4 or 5 overs and then maybe get back to try and taking their wickets. That I think backfired, and that also led to the Indians taking the attack to them. That there definitely was no off pitch, I mean on the pitch banter as such. I can say there was serious exchange of words,
Yeah.
and there was a point in time where the situation got heated up, and everybody's talking about it. You can see how the body languages change. You see the Indian dressing room sending out their 12th man with a message. So all these things really happened, quite exciting, and all to do with obviously with a lot of sporting spirit, but also with a little bit of ego involved. I think if England would have stuck to their guns, maybe they would have got the wickets of these bowlers who are currently not out with a partnership of 77 runs. I mean, it's just brilliant from where to where this whole match has gone. But
Absolutely, Salil.
England really sprayed their bowling everywhere. There was a lot of lack of concentration. I think Joe Root also missed out on a catch in the slips,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that happened after the this heaty 20-25 minutes of Mark Wood bowling short balls to Jasprit Bumrah really happened. So I think a lot of people were really baffled. Maybe Joe Root tried too many things, and England really lost their focus for allowing India to score 105 runs, and that too
Absolutely.
with their bottom lineup. So I think that would be one of the reasons why India have not declared it, even after Shami scoring a 50 and India having a lead of more than 250 runs. Because if their bowlers can make 105 runs, I think an English batting lineup can easily make 120, 25 runs. So one of the reasons why I think they're staying put.
Absolutely. And Salil, talking about, you made a point about the ego, you made a point about how Indians have batted and stuff like that. More importantly, if I had a look at the beehive, the way the English bowlers bowled to Jasprit Bumrah and Shami, Usually, that's what it's said that as a fast bowler, when you are bowling to a tail ender, you either bowl a short ball and then just pitch it on the stumps. That's the way you get a wicket. Just bowl on the
Yeah.
stumps. That's where you'll get him out. But if you had a look at the beehive when the game was being shown, all the balls were, body line or maybe outside off stump. There was not much attack on the stumps. Maybe that was one of the reasons that it didn't really test the Indian batsmen when it came to the defense. So that is where something England really, lost their mind or their vision in a way
So
where they just went all guns blazing to attack the bowlers, like you just said, to hit them on the body or something like that. And Indians took full advantage
body
of it,
line
and
more
now,
than attack. Yeah, to hurt them more than attack because I mean it's nothing wrong in that. That's the plan of the game. At the time where there were no helmets, the bowlers were not really equipped to play, and that's when fast bowlers of the bowling team would actually bowl and injure you as much as possible. That will give you some discomfort when you come to bowl. So it used to be a thing of between fast bowlers where they continuously keep hitting each other. That doesn't happen with the batting fraternity, sadly.
yes,
But yeah, there is some way where you can vent it, at least with the ball, bowler to bowler, and I think that's what happened today.
definitely. And Salil, you spoke of Jimmy Anderson and having that little banter with him. Jimmy Anderson himself is not 100% fit to bowl the quota of overs that he usually bowls in a normal test match because of his injury concerns that started off his place in the playing 11 was still doubtful when the toss happened and
Yeah,
just a day
yeah.
prior to the test. So here we are. Mark Wood is injured. Jimmy Anderson not 100% fit. What options does Joe Root have here? Do you think that here now he'll be just waiting for a mistake by one of these Indian tailenders that hopefully a bad shot or an error of judgment of sorts, or would he want Jimmy Anderson to come back and get that wicket for him?
Well, I think after all the hula about the bowling shot to the Indian batsmen and them actually and it actually backfiring for England, to be very honest, that whole ploy didn't work at all.
Not at
Uh,
all.
you did get Anderson back for the last few overs, and I think he will keep bowling those 2-3 overs, 3-4 over sessions, and I think that's what we'll do because mostly now with the last two sessions left, how much of Anderson can you really expect to do right now? It
Yeah,
depends on Virat Kohli when he wants to when he wants to get the team in and get give England to bat so that they can try and take as many wickets as possible and give that scare, you know, chill down their spines. So quite honestly, it all depends on that. I don't think he should use James Anderson much as
yeah,
possible. As far as India is concerned, we are looking at definitely drawing the match. While with an outside chance of maybe putting in England to bat and giving them around 30 plus, around 15, 20 more overs, or
yeah,
or maybe two entire sessions. Who knows? So
probably.
we'll see how that goes because there was no announcement towards the end when Shami and Bumrah went to bat. Maybe Kohli might be saying, while you guys are in Lords, why don't you just go whack it out and throw away your wickets? It doesn't matter. The runs are more than enough. And I
Yeah,
think we know for sure that we want to draw the match. So he might give them another chance, hoping that Bumrah might get a 50. Because even if the match will draw, then I think the English bowling would come under high scrutiny because they were not able to bundle up this Indian bottom half of their batting lineup.
right.
So quite honestly, it doesn't really look good from an English bowling perspective that the Indian bottom order has played. So from
The,
a ego and from the future series perspective, I think they'll be slightly frowned upon, and England will want that. So I think they're pretty much in the driver's seat when it comes to controlling the match now. India.
for now, India is definitely in the driver's seat. And you spoke about cleaning up the tail. This has happened twice in two tests that they failed to clean up the last three batsmen, or if something like that. Even in the first test, 48, 49 runs were added. Here you come another 77 run added between just the two of them. So something to really look into for the English bowlers. And if you have a look at the scorecard, Salil, we expected any Indian batsman, like you just said, that it would be probably a Rahane or a Pujara or a Virat Kohli. But you can see a name there, Mohammad Shami. Is that
Oh,
a typo
seriously.
typo error there?
Absolutely not. I think he's responding to the team's decision to demote him. He's come, they've all been demoted when Ishant Sharma's come into the team while they've, kind of played a little role while batting with, the Indian middle order. But I think from whatever Mohammad Shami has played, that's shown a lot of maturity, a lot of resilience, and
Correct.
understanding and rising to the situation when you're being bolt shot at and you're defending those balls and you come across and you're taking the sledging on by sledging them back and giving it to them with your bat. You being a
Absolutely.
bowler and not expecting to score more than 10, 15 runs. I think that's a Herculean and a big-hearted effort by both Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami. And they really got India out of the rut here after losing Ishant Sharma and Rishabh Pant. Because at a point in time, after losing Rishabh Pant's wicket, Ishant Sharma was like, let me go for all those boundaries. And I
Yeah.
thought that we might just be bundled in 20 runs. But clearly, after his wicket fell, we scored, 77 runs. And I mean, the rest is for us to wait and anticipate now in the next couple of sessions.
Not just you, Salil. In fact, the whole of cricketing lovers and whole of India in general knew that once Rishabh Pant is out, I think 30 or 20 odd runs is what India is going to get bundled out in. But these two had other plans, definitely. And here we are. Finally, what do you think is England's takeover here? What do England make of this now coming in the next session? India for sure, like you said, it's a call that Virat will take probably in a matter of 30 minutes, probably let them bat, get a 50 for Bumrah as well if he gets to. So that is the Indian perspective. But when you come to England, what do you think the English will do right now? What will be their game plan here?
But I think if England is a Joe Root and team are definitely eyeing for a win here. They'd want to really bundle up the couple of wickets that are left for India
Correct.
as soon as possible. That is the only thing that they'll have to do purely because that gives their batsmen enough time. Might be, we don't know if they lost 4 or 5 overs yesterday, they might request to extend play by another 30 minutes. And India might also do that if they are well within taking 2 or 3 of English wickets. So if anybody is going for a victory here, I think the game will become extremely exciting and competitive and thrilling to watch because the game can go anywhere with a few runs made on board or with a couple of wickets in their hands. So currently, depending on how both camps want to play, is all that depends. If if Joe Root is thinking, well, you know what, we've actually saved the match
Yeah.
and we should be happy with the draw here, and India would also say the same thing after their second innings, then I think they'll just play out those overs and might be they might finish the match early. So
Yeah. Probably in
even
10
though
overs
we
prior.
wait till match.
See, the birds stopped chirping, roots uprooted, the blue capes are coming. Okay, so this is absolutely bang on here by Paras. So, Salil, something on this. I mean, we spoke about this that there was a lot of banter, but the egos have been hurt on English backyard. You play the English bowlers the way these two have played. There will be some, fire back at you as a batsman. So it was actually expected. What happened in Australia as well is what's happening here in England. The Indian lower order is giving them back, Salil. So, do you think when India comes out to bowl in the second innings, there will be a lot of fire from the Indian bowlers as well, Salil?
Oh, absolutely. I have no doubts whatsoever. I think as much as possible, you know that you're not going to allow them to score all those runs because obviously after a few overs, all the men will be out on the boundary without any
Yeah,
slips. So what you could take is possibly one run, and England won't want to do that, and nicking one to maybe a single slip that's kept. So quite honestly, the attack was taken to England might be on a gloomy day. In the first session on day 5, India trying to save a match. And I think that really fired up Team India. And
yeah,
this is when you look India for the past decade or so. I don't think these young boys are really having anything in their mind that, oh, what am I going to do? There are people from Lords sitting, watching me. Will I be judged? I don't think they care. They will treat this like any other match. And if somebody says something, we'll say something back. So
absolutely.
I think they're pretty well trained. And after having a tour of Australia, I think anybody in world cricket might learn how to sledge and respond to a sledge much better because nobody does it like the Aussies do. So
Yes.
quite frankly, I think the English might be a few of them might be playing like real gentlemen, while a few might have sledged. But clearly, Australia was worse, and I think India can easily respond to whatever's happening now on the pitch.
And as Justin Langer says, and I quote, never, ever, ever take Indians lightly and take them for, a role, because they are going to come back and come hard at you. So this is what's happening, and live action coming up in some time, Salil. Just to remind you, I had asked you a trivia question. I'll
I
repeat it
know.
to you again so you know. The question is that who is the Wisden cricketer of the century for India? That's the question. If any of you all watching this video know the answer, you all can write it on the comment section, and probably Salil will give us his answer in the end segment where we will discuss about this as well, that who was he and when was this. So thank you so much, Salil. This was Sports Adda Live, and live action coming up in some time. Hopefully, India capitalize that lead. It is going to be brilliant. Thank you.